Why did punk dive bar culture change so much? Imagine walking into a place where the walls are stained with years of punk history, loud music is blasting, and everyone feels like they belong. That's what punk dive bars used to be all about. These spots were rough around the edges, often in neighborhoods that weren't the nicest, but they were safe havens for people who didn't fit into mainstream society. They served cheap drinks and had a gritty vibe that matched the rebellious spirit of early punk music. Back then, these bars were more than just places to drink. They were community hubs where underground bands played, fanzines were shared, and the DIY ethic thrived. People from all walks of life, like sailors, working-class folks, and punks, gathered there to escape societal norms. The atmosphere was raw, unpolished, and full of energy. It was all about being authentic and resisting mainstream culture. Over time, many of these classic dive bars faced big changes. Gentrification pushed out some of them as neighborhoods became more upscale. Rents went up, and the original rough charm was replaced with more polished spaces trying to attract wealthier crowds. This shift made it harder for the true punk spirit to stay alive in those venues. The evolution of punk music also played a role. As punk branched into subgenres like hardcore punk and metalcore, the scene grew more diverse. Some venues moved from gritty dive bars to larger clubs or hybrid spaces that could handle bigger crowds. These new venues often had better facilities but sometimes lost the underground feel that made punk dive bars special. Social attitudes and laws changed too. Stricter licensing, noise restrictions, and safety rules made it tougher for dive bars to operate as they once did. Many had to close or change their vibe to stay open. The DIY community, which once thrived in these spaces, started shifting activities online or into different venues, reflecting wider cultural changes. As punk gained popularity, some dive bars attracted more mainstream audiences. This sometimes diluted the rebellious, anti-establishment vibe that defined the original scene. To stay afloat, some bars had to adapt, blending punk with other music styles or modernizing their spaces. Today, some classic punk dive bars still exist and hold onto their roots. But many have changed, mixing punk culture with other scenes or upgrading their facilities. New venues often try to keep the raw energy alive while offering more comfort and broader appeal. This ongoing change shows how punk culture continues to evolve, even in spaces that once symbolized pure rebellion. In the end, punk dive bar culture changed because the social, economic, and cultural worlds around them shifted. The venues that supported punk music and community had to adapt to survive. Despite these shifts, the core values of punk, resistance, community, and authenticity, still influence what punk dive bars are today.